Guys, I just think that tonight it's freezing and it just feels like the time to have an hoodie on. I feel like I am all over the place today because I did not film when I was meant to, and then I've just gotten home from work. It's 5 o'clock at night. The sunlight is just not existing anymore. The quality of this video is gonna be so shit because you can't probably see me. And I was meant to film like a couple of days ago, but I was just lazy, and now this is the last possible second that I can film this video for my 7 on Sunday, and I'm filming it. And yeah, it's just like, I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm actually really excited about today's theme because we're talking about book romances we don't like, and I'm ready. And not to say that I like hate these like couples, like obviously like I feel something for them because this is where the author wanted the couples to go, but just sometimes I feel like people don't really fit well together and it kind of feels forced, or I just generally hate these couples. There's a couple in there that I'm just like, it sucks bad. But I'm excited for this topic, and I know that a lot of these you are probably going to know because one of them in particular I talk about a lot because I hate it. And I'm sure some people could guess. Like if you even wanted to comment right now and guess what my first option's gonna be. Some of the guys have been in like worst love interest videos, some of the people have been in worst character videos, so like there's a bit of cross-referencing. Like we are starting to have stuff that like just keeps coming up, but I just generally talk about the same 7 books every week, so that's where we're at. But I'm excited to get into this video, and I just hope that I get this done before the light disappears. If you know me, you just know this whole entire book gives me grief. It gives me the pain, and I just don't even know if I want to get into it because this is Opal and Devlin are their names, and the main dude, worst love interest I've ever read about in my entire life. And I just think that she is kind of a bit naive and dumb as well, but it's just the way that he does a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that he does that are very questionable but also completely wrong and out there, and I just feel like they don't work. And he's the villain of the story, right? And I normally love stories that do that, where it's just like, ooh, the love interest is going to be the villain and they're going to become good. He doesn't deserve to be redeemed, this dude. He is just sucky. And then he's in the latest series and I'm just like, oh, I hate you so much. Like, I'm really trying not to say too much because I feel like I have gone into detail about this, but then somebody goes, I don't go into detail about this. There is a lot of stuff in this book that's so shit. The whole trilogy pissed me the heck off. And they even have a love triangle just chucked in there for lols, you know? So like just the whole thing is just irritating, and I just don't think the romance is good at all. Another one that I've started to like realize in the last couple of years is Edward and Bella were actually so dumb and toxic, and like what the actual fuck? Like why was I obsessed with this? Like it's just like, oh my god, he's like a vampire and he loves me and he sparkles. Like I was that girl. And now, I just can't get over how possessive Edward is, and how he just watched her sleep, and how he doesn't ever leave her the fuck alone. Like, he just is there all the time. I would be like, give me some space, bitch. Like, I need some time away from you. And you just, like, he's awake every minute of every single day, like, every second. And all he thinks about is Bella. And I think, like, he needs to get a life and do something else. Like, seriously. Like, I just think that their whole thing was like semi-toxic because they're just so dependent on it, and especially in New Moon where Bella just like loses her shit completely, and I'm like, stop. Just stop it. Next, I want to talk about Mare and Cow from Red Queen, and for the main reason for this is I never actually expected them to get together in the whole entire series. I thought it wasn't going to happen, so this is why I think that they don't work well together, because I could never see it as being a thing. And to be honest, in the first book, I thought it was kind of fun because, you know, she's engaged to Maven, but she has feelings for the other prince, and it's just like, oh my god, love triangle. Is she going to go with the person she has to marry, or the person that she really wants? Thought it was all fun, but I kind of also really liked Maven. And then we get to, like, what happens in these books, and everything kind of goes to shit with everyone, and then I just never liked Cal and Mare again, because Mare became such a dumbass in the second book, and then Cal just became dumb as well, and then Maven just kind of became amazing. I actually really liked Maven by the end of this series, to be honest, but then I wasn't shipping anyone with anyone. Like, honestly, their side relationship between Farley and someone that I'm not going to mention because it's a spoiler was the best relationship, and then that still got fucked over. So like, it's not a great book for romances, but I was like so annoyed that I kind of could see it. But then by the time book 2 happened, I thought the relationship just died for me, and I just never wanted to see that in my life. Next, I want to talk about Stevie and David from Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. So I love this book with a passion. I love it so much. And you know what's so exciting is The Box in the Wood just came out on audio, and I don't think I've ever been this excited for anything in my entire life, because I have not listened to an audiobook for 2 months. I've just been paying for it but not listening to anything, and the minute that I saw this, I listened to like 6%, and I'm proud of myself because like I'm actually excited about something, and I'm just like, oh my god, there's a new book and a new case. Like, but the one thing that shits me with this book is I've just never liked the idea of Stevie and David being a couple, because he's kind of a dick, and I think that she could do so much better, and I feel like Stevie would just be such a better person with a different dude, because I feel like she was always fussing about him and worried about him, and you know, it's always about David, it's always about him, and Stevie's just there to do whatever he needs her to do, and I feel like she needs to be her own person. And with this book too, I thought it was just like never gonna happen, so when it did happen, I was just like, oh no, please, like I don't really want to see it be a thing. And I don't know, like hopefully he's gonna be better in The Box in the Woods. Like if he actually becomes like a decent person, then I might be a little bit more inclined to enjoy it, but I just feel like he was just so selfish, and I just never appreciated them as a couple at all. Just some random ones from contemporaries that I've realized that I just never really thought that they clicked, but the first one is Jonah and Vivi from When We Collided by Emery Lord. I bought literally all of Emery Lord's books because all the covers are beautiful, and I read this one, which was the first one published, and I have to say I just didn't really enjoy this book, but that's because I feel like I just really clashed with Vivi, because she's just so selfish, and just like, you know, Jonah's got this whole family that he has to care for and worry about, and then she is just like the most selfish character I've ever read about. And I understand that she has bipolar and that is an issue there, but I just never really thought that they worked well together, because Jonah is just such a like nice guy, and I just didn't really like her, and I just feel like it was never gonna like connect and work. And I honestly can't remember actually what happened in this book. It's been so long, but I know that this book was trying to make it like this really emotional and like empowering thing, but I just couldn't like connect with it. Like honestly, I just really didn't enjoy this, and that's the reason why I haven't carried on and read any of her other books. Next, I want to talk about Henry and Grace from Our Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. There's also a movie coming out for this book that I like only discovered like a couple of months ago, and it's Lily Reinhart, who was in Riverdale, and I'm like, okay. But the main thing with this book is that it was just doomed from the start. The relationship was never going to work out, and I know it's meant to be the like, oh, love's fleeting and we're going to have it now, but then we might not have it forever. But I just thought it was so dumb in this book, because she is going through it. Something happened to her in her life, and I don't know if it's talked about straight away or is this is like a secret thing. Like I feel like the thing that happens to her we're not meant to know. It's meant to be this mystery, and then Henry just gets obsessed with her and he wants to be with her, but she is clearly depressed about something, so she's not in a good place to move on, and then they're kind of just like conveniently there for each other. And I understand, like I understand the point of the book is that they're not meant to be well suited, but I just really didn't like it. Like I didn't even like that I was meant to not like them and then like them, and just, like the whole cycle didn't work for me. Okay, like I mean, I honestly haven't thought about this book for a while. I honestly forgot that I read it. I couldn't even find it, and I remember I've put it in my overflow shelf, so like I guess this book doesn't really like matter that much to me. But with the movie coming out, I don't even know if I want to watch the movie, because I'm just going to be frustrated the whole time. And lastly, I want to talk about Nova and Adrian from Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I was just always of the strong opinion that they should have been like really good friends, like because most books there's always a romance, and even though I'm saying that, I am a hypocrite, because I want romance to be in every single book I ever read, and I always ship everything. Even if they do say Rens, I still ship it. But I just felt like these characters were going in that direction to be friends, and I never really liked the way that they would think about each other romantically, because I'm like, you're meant to be friends. And even in the end, when it kind of happened, and then I was just like, I don't really like. And then the main thing is that they both have massive secrets that they're keeping from each other, and they're lying to each other, so I just don't think it's a good foundation for a relationship. And yeah, like I just never vibed with this relationship, but this is the one that I probably liked the most out of my whole list, because like they did become really good friends, and they did have like a really solid relationship and a solid bond. I just, yeah, never shipped it. It was never something that I was just like, yes, I'm so invested. I was just like, friends forever, please. Here is my list, and I'm hoping you guys would have guessed that this asshole of a book was going to be my number one, because I just can't. I can't believe I read the whole entire trilogy, but I needed to know how much of a dick he was going to be, because like, that's how I am. But as I look at this, like, you know, truly Devious and Renegades are some really good books that I really enjoyed, but the rest of them are kind of like, you know, iffy, like they're okay. But it is interesting because authors do write these romances expecting us to love them, so it is fun when we don't end up liking them, or there's different reasons why things just don't clash well with us, because I guarantee there could be people that have all these books on their favorite relationships of all time. I don't know why, but there could be. So that's the interesting thing of us all having different opinions of what we can like really appreciate. And there's a lot of couples that I like that people would be like, my God, why? But that's why I love them too. So guys, that is all from me today. I feel like I didn't make it. It just gradually got so much darker. I'm looking at my viewfinder right now, which I always do because I just can't stop looking at my face. I think this video is not going to be the best, but I feel like the vibes were there. Like the vibes were there, but the audacity of the fucking dark is what ruined it for me, but also me just procrastinating everything. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!